It's really great to have you with me. And yes, we're going to talk about the 2 jars, but let's wait for a little bit. I want us to discuss being grateful. You know, it's really good for us to be thankful throughout our lives towards God for everything, because He's the one who made us, He's the one who sustains us, and He's the one who gives us everything. The fact that we can breathe, you and I are here today, seeing the sunrise, our family and friends, having food on our table, a roof over our head. Those are the things that we need to be grateful for. And I like that phrase that was coined by somebody, an attitude of gratitude. That really sounds really, really nice, and it summarizes everything. An attitude is like a way of life, the way you think. So it just emphasizes that it shouldn't be just like a once-off that you need to be thankful when you get something or for something at that particular point in time. It should just be just the way that you are all the time towards God. Now imagine if there's 2 people that you give things. The one, every time you give them something, they just take the things and then they go. They don't say anything. The other person, they are like, oh wow, thank you so much. This is really nice. I'm so grateful. Or they'll just say thank you, or they'll give you a card, or they'll send a WhatsApp. Now tell me, who would you rather give more things to? I'm sure it's the second person, because they express how thankful they are. You know, you can't say that if I'm thankful, I can just be thankful inside. You need to actually express it. And I think we need to be like that towards God. I really think God just smiles down at us when we say thank you. And it's not that we buy favors with being thankful towards God, not at all. I really believe that, you know, when you're thankful, it comes back to you somehow. You know, when you're thankful, more blessings come your way. So I really believe, you know, that giving thanks, it's really one of the gateways to more blessings in your life. And you know, it really is scriptural. There's so many scriptures that talk about giving thanks. And one of them is 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 18, which talks about, you know, giving thanks in all circumstances, because that's God's will for us. And it says in all circumstances, doesn't say for all circumstances, because some circumstances are not good. But what it's really trying to emphasize is that, yes, we can thank God for things, for doing things, for giving us things, but also, you know, God is God. So no matter what, we just need to be grateful towards God just for who He is. That's what we need to be doing. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the 2 jars. About 5 years ago, I got this idea about the 2 jars. So what I did is I took 2 coffee jars, empty ones, cleaned them up, and then I labeled them. On one of them I wrote thankful, and on the other one I wrote prayer requests. And then I asked my husband and children to write down what they were thankful for at that point in time, including for that particular year, and to list them one after the other. And I did the same. Then I took that list and I cut it up into strips and put it in this jar and sealed it. So this is what I did. And then I asked them to do the same thing with prayer requests, plans, aspirations, dreams, goals, milestones, whatever they wanted for the coming year. And they listed down everything. And I did the same. Just took us a few days. Wrote everything down, cut it into strips, again, put it into the second jar, like this. So it means that we ended up with 2 jars like this. Okay, so that was a few weeks before the end of the year, in December sometime. So what we did was on New Year's Eve, on the 31st of December, we sat down as we normally do. We came before the Lord. Then we opened the first jar, the one that says thank you. We emptied everything onto a table, and then we had to thank God for what He had done for us, and everybody had to say something till we had finished all the strips of paper. Then the second thing we did is we opened the jar with the prayer request, and we did the same thing to say, Lord, we're committing these things to you. Please help us in these areas. And then we put those strips back into the prayer request jar and sealed it. And then the one for thankful remained empty. And then I took those 2 jars and then I put them somewhere where I knew they wouldn't be disturbed or break or anything like that. So what happened was, throughout the year, you know, God would be answering some of the prayer requests and would be transferring them from one jar to the other jar. And we found that sometimes we were actually thankful for things which were not even in the prayer requests jar, because, you know, God does more for each of us than we even deserve. So we just put things in there as well, and He didn't necessarily answer all the prayer requests. You know, God does things in His own time. And we found that jar with thankful, you know, strips of paper kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And sometimes, you know, honestly, we just wake up and say, today I just want to thank God that I'm alive. I want to thank God that I have all my senses, things like that. Whatever they were, I would ask people from time to time. And, you know, we never felt condemned if we forgot after a few weeks or months to write down things. We'd sit down and say, okay, what am I grateful for the last few months? Then write them down. put them in there. Then at the end of the year, we did the same thing. We sat down, we opened the thankful jar, we gave thanks. The prayer request jar, it wasn't empty. Like I said, God does things in His own time, but what we did is we topped it up with more prayer requests for the coming year. And so why am I telling you this? Well, the reason is it's 2 weeks before Christmas, 2020. Before New Year's Eve 2020. And it's an opportunity if you'd like to do the same thing, just to start thinking about what you're thankful for as well as a family or the people that you live with. And you start writing everything down and cutting into strips and putting it in there, and do the same for your prayer requests. And just to emphasize that we always say thank you first to the Lord, and then we ask for more things. You could try that, and then let's see what happens this time next year. I'm sure your jar will also be full, and then you can continue doing that. And you can pray for other people. In your thankful jar, you could say thank you for my grandmother, who's now feeling better. In your prayer request, you can put other people that you want. You can say, I'm praying for salvation for this person. It can be for your family that you stay with, or it can be for other people as well. It's just an idea. So that's it for today, and I will see you next week when I'm giving my Christmas message. And I'll also be explaining what I'll be doing in 2021. My videos will be a little bit different, so you don't want to miss that. Bye for now, and thanks for being with me today.